we are, Hammerfest Day 3, and I'm joined with Avatar. How are you doing?
Very good, how are you?
Yeah, not bad at all. Good trip up here?
Yep, played Nottingham yesterday. It was a sweet one. And it's good to be here. And people, there's this thing about Britain being cloud and rain, but it's this weather that we have outside is actually the only thing I ever seen in this country.
Excellent. You've been very lucky.
Yeah, so I heard.
You've been very, very lucky indeed. So you're due to go on just after midnight tonight. Mm-hmm. Looking forward to that one?
Looking forward to it a lot. This is actually our first festival performance in England, or Britain, or in Wales actually. So
yeah.
Britain ever. So that's really cool.
You picked a real good one as well. So
yeah, it feels good. It's a good vibe.
Yeah. How are you liking the vibe of obviously a holiday camp, which has been invaded by hundreds of metalheads?
It's very different. I think over the end where we got our trailer, you couldn't really tell you're on a festival just quite yet, at least. So it's different. It's pretty cool actually. It puts this place to good use.
Yeah. So this is another sort of like enlightening subject. Enlightening thing for you as well is you're walking around. Obviously, there's all the metalhead fans. Mm-hmm. Everyone's here, so you're walking with sort of like mixing with everyone else. Sometimes at festivals and stuff like that, you're kept away. You're on a different sort of side to what
this is more a social setting in that sense. That's true.
Excellent. Well, let's have a chat about Avatar. How long have you guys been together?
Well, we basically grew up learning how to play together. So that's since our mid-teens. Now we have reached our mid to late 20s. So it's around a little more than 10 years.
Oh.
We've been doing albums since. I was 18 years old or something when I first came out, and right now we're up to date. Our fifth is coming out on May 16th in Europe. I'm not very good with dates, but May 16th is our next one is coming out, Hail the Apocalypse.
Awesome. Hail the Apocalypse, quite a hard-hitting sort of title as well.
Oh yeah.
Where did that sort of like come from?
Well, it's the whole album is. As metal sometimes tend to be, it's a study in darkness, and this is a more psychological nature. And what we're taking a look at some dark stuff that goes on within you and around you.
Yeah.
And there are so many always these signs or ideas or theories about how the world will come to an end, or how we will destroy each other, the economy is collapsing, or the global warming, or all these things, and how we in the end in a way can't help but embracing it.
Yeah.
And by then try to look at survival and adaptation. It's very, it's a way of handling a shitstorm, basically.
And does the new album cover, does that sort of like bring across the whole feeling of the album as well? According
to me, it does. It's actually I'm steering a ship through a massive storm. And that is, I feel like that emphasizes this album quite a lot. It's very epic, huge, merciless, and it is like this, it's this emotional storm, if you will, that goes through it. So I feel we're really happy there.
Excellent. Have you used the same artist as well for all your album covers?
No, this was since the last one was Blackwall's album. Prior to that, we actually went into using photography instead. So we work with our guy that also do music video. This is called Johan Kalén, and we've done a couple. So we did album cover with him, and also on this one, collaboration with some people helping with the backgrounds and everything.
Yeah. So when it comes to album covers, I've noticed that there's a number of bands particularly have gone back to photography over sort of an artist's impression of what an album should be like. Which do you actually prefer?
All depends on in which context, of course. There's so much you can do. What I feel, it really started with that we were talking about the 60s. I'm talking, the Beatles are on every Beatles cover.
Yeah.
That kind of thing, and putting the band there, or in this case, it's me fronting the band. But still, it made sense to us, and especially because we have had painted covers since, we worked with my cousin actually since the first demo till the third album.
Yeah.
And with the changes that started to happen in what we were doing, on all these different levels. It just to us made sense to change,
Yeah.
you know. But then I'm still, or I still haven't let go of that childhood dream to have Andreas Marschall, I think it's German, right? Yeah, to have him do one album cover for me once at some point in my life, since he done some of my favorite, you know, both death and power metal covers. You know?
Yeah.
So,
the ultimate goal.
Yeah. In a way, absolutely.
Yeah.
But right now, it makes sense for us to work in the way we're doing right now. You know.
Yeah.
So.
Obviously, 5 albums in. When it comes to getting a set list together for a performance, how would you judge? Obviously, you need to give the new material a bit of play for the fans to embrace you. But do you go right the way back to the core of where you started, or how do you get that set list up?
It depends on where we play, because it's like we have reached so many different points in our career, depending on which country, almost which region, and like I said, we basically grew up learning to play together, and we were really early on with releasing our music, so we basically grew up under the spotlight, if you will, and so therefore I feel like we really count every album, obviously. We do play also older stuff, but mainly we can't really get around that if we came to a new level of maturity with Black Walls and this one, so there is a huge emphasis on newer material, and but then, you know, we always try to look back and pick in the stuff, especially if we are closer to home and places we've been establishing ourselves a bit more, then, you know, then we'll of course pick up the old tracks, you know. Still rehearse them just for the fun of it. Still.
I was going to say, do you are you constantly sort of like rehearsing, making sure you've got the old tracks still as fresh?
Well, in periods, and it doesn't happen every day. But, you know, Morgasa Spirit, actually, we did our first member change since our first demo a little more than 2 years ago now, when Tim joined us on guitars and Simon left. And when he joined, we just had this period of let's do one of those where we played every song we had ever written together with him.
That's a good way of bringing a new band. Someone who's coming into the band who's new, getting them the experience, obviously getting them into the very heartbeat of what the band obviously was from day one.
Yeah, for sure, and it was just a fun way to. Because if you don't really touch them for a while, all you remember is how young you were, and then you remind yourself of what you were actually. Now I'm pretty impressed by the early stuff on, you know, some levels that I didn't think of to begin with. Where, you know, we were between the ages of I guess 17 and 19 years old when we recorded the first one in 2 weeks, including mixing and mastering and all that, and when you hear what kind of music we were playing at the time, and our age and everything, and I'm really impressed, you know, by the craftsmanship that was already there. And then I still think there are some really, really cool songs in that one.
Excellent. So when you're not writing material or rehearsing or in the studio, what do you do to relax when you're away from the
drink. It's different. I don't know. I don't think we're very good at relaxing, though. We are a very hard-working group, and it's really hard for us to let thoughts of the band go. You know, so you know. But I don't know. I own an Xbox. It's something. And I do try to hit the gym. It's something. But it's lots and lots. It's about the band.
So obviously, it's 5 albums. Your 5th album is due to be released, so you're 5 albums in. What advice can you give to a young up-and-coming band who are just about to look to go into a studio to produce their first album?
Well, practice, and also try to, without forcing it, but still be conscious of it, trying to really figure out what you actually want to do. Because that is, I can recognize ourselves in the early years, and I can see also in other bands there where the talent is there, but really it's unfocused usually early on, because you can see in the way, I don't know, the way they dress, the way they move, the way they communicate, and what kind of songs they play, and in everything that you know, there's so much potential there, but you have to focus it. You know, if you build a car, you can't build a Volvo, Lamborghini, Rolls Royce to try to, you know, something for the Queen of England and for the family of 5 to fit a dog in when going camping. And you know, we have to, you know, in a way, focus on what you want to achieve and make things to the point and make it really work as one full piece of art.
That's excellent. Really,
and that's
really
a huge challenge, but I think it's important to remember. You can't just, I don't know, go into there and rip off a mix of other bands, steal a riff here and there, and then think you're going somewhere. You have to really think about what you want to achieve.
Obviously, try to be. It's the originality as well. It's making yourself to be separated from like the crowd. Give yourself sort of like a
because and that also to me is very important. Like, well, I'm a huge Judas Priest fan, but what I want to achieve is not to sound like Judas Priest. I want to achieve something which is as powerful as Judas Priest, and as powerful. I want to be where they were late 70s, early 80s, when it was in the now. You know, I love lots of retro stuff as well. You know, people current, you know, bands my age putting out, you know, really retro sounding and retro looking stuff. But I still want to achieve. I want to do something that is on a level where in 20 years people will look at us and do us retro, you know. I want to do something that's really about 2014 and still be very, very true to what, you know, the core of heavy metal should be.
Excellent. That was really cool. Well, I'd like to thank you so much for taking time out.
Thank you.
And chatting with me today. Really looking forward to catching you later on tonight. Enjoy the show because you're going to have a blast here at Hammerfest. The crowds really, really do embrace the music here. That's one
so I heard. I feel a good vibe out there. So it's promising.
Enjoy the rest of the day.
Thank you.
Whatever you need to. I know you've probably got some other interviews, but you just embrace the moment.
I will. I'll see you in the front row. Take care.
Cheers.